walking across the line. He's still going to beat Gomez's time by about 4 minutes, which is incredible. And now his brother comes into sight, and Alistair Brownlee takes Olympic gold. To come back into T2. Aaron Royal there, setting off, time for some water. Very hot down here, it's getting up close to 30 degrees, I would have thought now. It's just after 12:15 local time.
Certainly hottest part of the day here in Rio, as we're waiting for that chase group to come through. See if they've taken any time off this lead group.
There's our 70 seconds, so it is going to have to be a mammoth effort from someone if they are to race onto the podium here. And 1 minute 14 seconds, so they managed to maintain the pace on that final lap. So Vincent Louis and the Brownlees already looking to build up a little bit of a gap here on that one.
Good pace to start. And after 40 kilometres on the bike, it was a hard 40 kilometres as well. Asking Louis just to take a turn rather than sit on. The side of these two competitors from Great Britain.
Already Richard Varga just falling off the pace, Savisberg as well.
He's calling for a drink.
These athletes know exactly what liquids to take on. They often have the energy gels just tucked in the running suits as well to give them an extra boost as they're on the way round. This is a great run from Vincent Louis.
Around, making sure that there was no one just sitting in behind. Alistair just conscious of where the rest of the group of 10. So now we've got 3 athletes out in front. 2 of them are named Brownlee. Louis, who was so good on the bike as well, pushing. See the timing as well, the timing devices on their ankles, leaving nothing to question. We come down to that tight finish.
Interestingly, Vincent Louis said before the race that if he did win gold here, he'd probably stop triathlon and switch to athletics because he doesn't think his body could take another 4 years of the training and conditioning to do a triathlon.
He'd switch to lying with Lilo, wouldn't you, in an ocean somewhere?
Take it easy, I think. 11th in London, Vincent Louis, so he's in line to do better than that here. Quite a poignant moment if he makes the podium as well, of course. His fellow French athlete Laurent Vidal, who so tragically passed away last year with a heart condition, Andrea Hewitt's partner. And I know he's very well thought of still within the triathlon circuit, and very sad he was only a very young man when he passed away, and it was a very sad moment. But I'm sure Louis, running not just for himself but running for France, and for Vidal as he runs along with the Brownies. But the Brownies, you know, have always got that extra kick in them. Get an idea of Moella's and Murray's splits when they come round to the end of the first lap.
Just missed the drinks there, Johnny. I think he was looking at one stage to see whether or not Alistair was going to swing him one. He grabbed 2. really split here in terms of the pace of this running group.
You can see already.
Schoeman's the one trying to keep contact. Can't quite make it though.
Yeah, Van Riel there in the light blue. You can see already how these 10 have got so stretched out that we've not even completed the first lap yet. And that's the pace the Brownies have got, and already they're trying to drop Vincent Louis.
Looking at around 29, mid 30 minutes of running. And is this where the Brownlees have dropped Louis? Looks like it's a slight, ever so slight incline here. This is where we saw them on the flat part of the course on the bike, just coming out of the saddle. Just checking.
Been a tremendous effort from all these 10 really in the Copacabana sunshine to build up such a healthy advantage and give themselves a chance of a medal. But there go the Brownies, and already the gap back to Louis is what, 20-30 metres?
And it was 20-30 metres over a couple of hundred metres. It was just so quick. And now Schoeman has Louis in his sight, perhaps thinking that he's vulnerable after being dropped by the Brownlees.
See their sibling rivalry, I'm sure, as this race goes on.
I was just thinking about that, thinking about if it comes down to a photo finish, which one of these two, I mean, they're looking at history. They've come first and third at the Olympic Games, the first set of siblings to stand on the victory dais in first and third since 1908, looking to break history again, first and second on the victory dais. Who will have it? Will be the younger of the Brownlee brothers. Will be the defending champion.
They must have tremendously proud parents. To have one Olympian in the family is good enough, but when you've got two that are equally as good, I mean, that's just fantastic.
And you said a brother that plays rugby, so
and a younger brother as well, who's very sporty.
very competitive family. It'd be interesting at dinner time, I'm sure.
Louis trying to keep an even pace, but he's a familiar sight for a lot of the athletes here at the Brownies' backs in his viewfinder.
Schoeman just starting to hone in. We'll get an idea as well as this chase pack, because we are expecting some movement from that second group in terms of running ability. So lap 1 of 4 has been completed. And the counter starts now with the chase group.
20 minutes, so Vincent Louis already 6 seconds down. But it's the likes of Mario Mola that we're more concerned about here, because he and Richard Murray are on their strongest legs undoubtedly of the triathlon. Murray, as we've said, ran himself through for a medal in the test event here 12 months ago. It's a really fantastic effort, just working his way through the field. Schoeman and Louis, though, they could have their eyes on a bronze medal. Just dropped off slightly. Richard Varga 38 seconds, and bear in mind we've just done the end of the first lap. Alessandro Fabian 43 seconds down on the Brownies already, having ridden full 40 kilometres with them on the bike.
It's a tremendous turn of speed by the two Brownlee brothers, breaking the hearts of many out there. Schoeman just about to put himself into third position, having a little tussle there with Louis.
Mola and Murray were 123 and 125 down respectively when they came off the bike, so let's just get an idea when we see their timings go through, which hopefully we will do.
These two Brownlee brothers, they've done everything possible. They've had an interrupted 4 years with a little bit of injury. No missing this drink station, I'm suggesting. It is very hot out there. There's the margin.
Schoeman coming through into third now. Louis right behind him. Great Britain have had such a fantastic Olympic Games once again, their most successful overseas Olympics terms of medals.
They've been fantastic, and it just highlights for me the pressure that a home nation has at a home Olympic Games. That normally I've seen the Olympic Games after, it's almost the pressure's gone, but the funding and the support is still there. And these athletes are really flourishing.
Leeds in Yorkshire, train in the Fell Hills. Maybe handy when they had to ride up that incline for eight times. Than his brother at the moment. Alistair had that ankle surgery which kept him out for quite a while. Johnny had an injury as well, so been injury free over the last couple of years, but clearly getting back to good form. Wins in Leeds and Stockholm for Alistair. 3 second places for Johnny this year on the WTS circuit. Sign of how Alistair's really grown. He was 12th in Beijing in 2008, won in London. So really growing as an athlete as he gets older and more mature. 28 years of age now, his brother 2 years younger.
Alistair out in front, Johnny sitting in behind. Going around the corner there, first, second, and Schoolman into third. I wonder what's going through the minds of these two boys right now, particularly Johnny, his big brother right beside him. Takes toughness.
There have been a couple of wins for Alistair, particularly this season in the winning Leeds and Stockholm, where he has just pulled away from his brother in the latter stages. So he probably has the slightly better kick than Johnny, and Johnny will be aware of that. And it's a question of, at some point, does Johnny try and make his move and get his brother to go with him, rather than trying to be, active rather than reactive.
And when to make that move. That's the other tactical decision to make. Not a top work out there. Brownlee brothers making sure that they're not missing any of the drink stations. Not consuming too much, but just trying to keep the body core temperature down. So now an hour 27 into this race as we start to lap some other competitors.
You don't get kicked out of the race if you're lapped on the run, by the way. It's only on the bike for safety reasons, so these athletes will still be able to complete the course. But when you think 2 laps and they're already lapping competitors, it shows how some of the lower ranked athletes are, how far behind the Brownlees that they are.
And there's the gap between first, second, and then third. See Schoolman at the bottom of the right-hand side of screen. Close to approaching timing as well on the second lap. And that gives you a little bit of motivation as well, knowing that there's athletes there that you can try in your headspace just to try and catch.
So they go back through transition for the second time on the run. Turnover sterling effort in London. They had to delay the medal ceremony in London for him to receive his bronze because he had to receive medical attention after serving that penalty right at the end, but he just run himself into a position where he knew that he wasn't going to be caught to take bronze.
Head stays still, eyes are moving around, just trying to keep an eye on where his brother is, but also probably trying to keep a little sneaky lookout to see whether or not anybody else is out there that appears to be able to mow them down, but not at this pace.
It seems that the Brownies are actually running at an even pace. Still, the gap was about 120 seconds.
So we are watching history when it comes to triathlon. 2 laps of this run course to go. Clearly, as they pass some of the back runners, and Springer giving him a clap, giving both the boys a clap as they pass.
Just interesting, we had that 10 in the lead group for the whole of the bike, but Murray and Mola and João Pereira from Portugal have now passed Alessandro Fabian and Ben Canute, so they've clearly caught up with them very quickly. So, you know, the bike, I think, had just taken it out of their legs, so we did see them cross the line fairly close together after the bike, but there's Thomas Springer, the Austrian, who's being lapped.
The boys a round of applause as they went past. And Schoeman's still sitting there. Another of the back markers just in behind Schoeman. What a performance this team from Great Britain has had in Rio.
Yeah, Alistair deciding on lap 3 it's time to see what his brother's made of. To go. Gritting his teeth and putting every ounce of energy into this now, Alistair Brownlee.
And you hope that doesn't unsettle Johnny and that he's able to maintain that second place, because Schoeman wasn't too far behind.
It's a great effort from Henry Schoeman. Can be so unpredictable. Let's see if anybody can catch up to Schoeman, because we know that Murray and Mola aren't too far behind. They're working their way through the field, although they're not really making much inroads into the timings of Brownlee and into the 2 Brownlee brothers, rather.
Has really decided to push it. It's just that small incline on the foreshore run course.
Importantly, at the moment, when we look at those guys coming through the field, they're only a minute now behind 3rd place Henry Schoeman. So they're making ground upon Schoeman, but not on the Brownies at the moment. So it's not conceivable that Murray, for the second event here in a year, could run himself through into a medal, or maybe Mola. That will be their incentive now, to try and get a podium finish in an Olympic Games. Murray finished 17th in London.
So the 3rd lap of 4 in the run, and Alistair Brownlee, his legs are doing a treat. Look at the gap he's put into his brother Johnny, who is in 2nd place. Beautiful rhythm. Lists his hobbies as fell running, so loves to run through the mountains, and that's his hobby, not part of his training.
Tells you everything.
His brother actually put computer games down.
Alistair's fell running is paying dividends at the moment, so maybe Johnny's computer games are why he's in 2nd place. But it is, at the moment, looking like a Brownlee 1-2. They'll take the bell the next time they come across the blue carpet. Great to see the crowds down here, sort of 6 or 7 deep in places against the barriers down in this wonderful part of coastline at Copacabana. So you might just get a glimpse of Sugarloaf Mountain in the background, the beach volleyball arena just round the corner as well. Go the other way, the way Alistair's actually running at the moment, you've got Ipanema, one of the marvellous beaches. There's a fantastic view of the whole area. Some great helicopter shots we've had from these Olympic Games. He's setting the scene well. Alistair Brownlee striding his way towards history. First man in the men's triathlon to retain a gold medal.
We know at the moment there are two Brownlees there. Jonathan or Johnny Brownlee in second place. Still can see his brother in front of him as he passes some of the other competitors on the course. Approaching the final stages of this men's triathlon. We're an hour and 36 into the course as we take a look at some of this beautiful scenery. These boys are taking no time to admire that scenery. They're on a mission. A mission to defend a gold medal at the Olympic Games in triathlon that has never happened in Olympic history since the sport started in the year 2000 in Sydney. It's coming up to complete the third lap. There's the red line, so we should get some times.
Sound of the bell will come around Copacabana in just a moment.
So 7 minutes 50, so he's maintaining perfect pacing with 7:50 the last lap as well. Johnny now 15 seconds behind.
That has worked out tactically superbly for Alistair Brownlee.
So less than 2 kilometres to go for Alistair Brownlee. After winning at a home Olympic Games in 2012. A look of determination, a look of pain as well. But nothing affecting his stride. He's been very even right through this.
This will be the biggest winning margin in an Olympics as well. The previous biggest was Simon Whitfield, 13-second advantage when he won the inaugural one back in 2000. Beaten in a sprint finish by Jan Frodeno, Simon Whitfield in 2008. And Brownlee just pressing the accelerator in London too. Now that victory is in sight.
A little bit more of a grimace on the face, but certainly not changing the technique. Seconds now separating the two Brownlee brothers. There's the margin you can see. And you can just see Schoeman coming into the picture now.
Just to give you, again, an idea, Javier Gomez won the test event here in 1 minute 48 seconds. 1 hour 48 minutes 26 seconds. So Brownlee is going to beat that by quite some distance over the same course. And we say there's no world records in triathlon. I mean, that's just an incredible pace.
Superb least it answers the question in Gomez's mind when he's sitting back watching it with this broken elbow. Another competitor passed on the field. It just gives Brownlee that little lift to continue on. When you know you're reeling somebody in, it's a little added motivation just to keep the pace up. He's flying.
So Chair from Argentina, the latest man to be passed by the machine that is Alistair Brownlee, and that's probably a great word to describe.
I was thinking that.
A machine.
He is a machine. Machine on a mission.
He'll be able to enjoy the adulation down the finishing chute as he often does.
The hero keeping up out in the audience. Flying the flag. It is the boxing kangaroo flag though. Maybe we're supporting the Commonwealth. After an hour and 42, he's just increasing his lead over his brother. Just ever so slightly as this race goes on. So good to see Johnny is actually holding some form there. Let's hope he gets into the silver medal position.
Yeah, Johnny had a 18-second gap over third place Henry Scuba when they came through transition. So Vincent Louis, another fantastic performance from him. He still might make it. He was a little bit behind Schumann. It'll be a fantastic day for the South African if he can clinch a bronze medal. It's all about that man there, Alistair Brownlee, gold in London. World champion in 2009 and 2012.
What a pace. He looks like he's increasing it. He is. Either that or Johnny's starting to drop off a little bit, so hopefully he's not in danger of losing this silver over the final stages.
It's a great year for them this year as well, because the triathlon in the UK has traditionally been in London over the Olympic course in Hyde Park, but moved up to Leeds this year, their hometown, and for them to take 1 and 2 in front of a home crowd, I'm sure that's a moment that will stick with them. Not equally as a gold medal in an Olympic Games, but certainly one of their career highlights, you would think.
A lot of pride in the local area, I'm sure. They're watching on and celebrating. No time for that now. Goes past the drink station. He can smell it. He can almost taste it. As he comes fairly close to this finishing line. With no sign of fatigue. Grabs a flag.
Well, he affords himself a little look round. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't wait for his brother here, you know, because he's done it before. He'll certainly step across the line in first, although Johnny's quite competitive, so that might not be the best idea for Alistair. But what a performance. To win in 2012, to come back in 2016 in Rio, and win in such dominant fashion. Absolutely incredible, and he deserves the adulation from the crowd as he goes down that finishing straight. Still looking round for his brother. It's a marvellous moment. Alistair Brownlee will make Olympic history, the first man to retain his triathlon gold medal. Time to enjoy the applause that come with it down the finishing line. What a fantastic moment for this man who's had such wonderful highlights in his career so far. And Alistair Brownlee, he's walking across the line. He's still going to beat Gomez's time by about 4 minutes, which is incredible. And now his brother comes into sight, and Alistair Brownlee takes Olympic gold. And his brother Johnny comes in behind him. They have given every ounce of energy on this course, and it's Great Britain gold and silver, and the brothers are on top of the podium once again.